The governor we have now, Hairdo, said this about something that happened. True to form, I knew it was coming. I mean, you don't put an armada of naval ships, close to Iran and not plan on using them. Are we at war with Iran? Is it actually labeled a war? The War Powers Act, did President Trump violate that by taking this military action? I'm going to explore that with two guys I like a lot. And even better than that, I admire them and respect them. One is Sam Anthony from yournews.com. The other one is Mike Cook from the Patriot Mike Show. You're going to find him all over the place. And they've both been on the show before, and they've been on together too. So this will be fun again. I'm looking forward to this. But I know they're in the green room watching right now. Here's what Governor Hairdo said about the attack on Iran. I'll do it in the voice of Gavin Newsom.
The corrupt and repressive Iranian regime must never have nuclear weapons. The leadership of Iran must go. But that does not justify the president of the United States engaging in an illegal, dangerous war that will risk the lives of our American service members and our friends without justification to the American people. President Trump is putting Americans at risk abroad because he is unpopular at home.
Really? That's why? That's what your side does. That's what Bill Clinton did. That was one of his biggest tricks. Well, we're going to start bombing Iraq again every time something came up about Monica Lewinsky or some other female that he had his member too close to in the side room off the Oval Office. Here's Ben Dempsey's response to Gavin Newsom. Which one is it, Gavin? They can't have nuclear weapons and need to be removed, or the operation is not justified. Pick one stance, please. If you want to run for president, you should get comfortable making bold statements on where you stand. Right? Okay, they're standing by. Mike Cook, Sam Anthony, on Do Not Talk. You ready? Hit it. Yeah!
You shortened up your intro, man.
You like that? That's kind of slick, isn't it? It's all quick. It's 7 seconds. That's it. Boom. Get in, get out. Welcome both of you to the show. I'm glad you're here. I want to talk exclusively. If other stuff comes up, so be it. But let's kick off with what's happening in Iran, because that's all everybody's talking about right now. And it's a distraction. It's a distraction from what President Trump's trying to do here in the United States of America. But these problems need to be addressed now. And was this, Mike, was it illegal? Fetterman says no, it wasn't.
Well, you see, Congress passed a law. You see, the Constitution says that Congress has to declare war, but then Congress passed a law giving the president time to do things. It's like I don't remember how many days, but like 2 months, he can do things without getting the Congress involved at all. Because just like with tariffs, the Constitution says Congress has to do tariffs, but Congress has written like 30 laws giving. We don't want to mess with that. We'll give that to the president. So yes, it's completely legal. He can do exactly what he's doing, and all the other presidents have done it. And you playing or reading Hairdo's statement saying that yes, we need to get rid of this evil regime in Iran, but not the way Donald Trump's doing it. No, do it the way all the other presidents have done it, which is nothing.
Exactly. Mike, Sam, how about the media's reaction? How are things on your side of the aisle?
I'll tell you, but Mike, you hit it right on the head, right? So basically just do nothing, but we agree with you. They need to go. We just don't want them to go because that means
it's a CIA operation, and it has been. It's money laundering. It's where they smuggle all the humans. It's where they smuggle all the drugs. It's where they smuggle all the money and launder it. Of course, they don't want it going away. But
are you talking where Iran is?
Yes.
So I thought that was Ukraine.
Yes.
Yes. What else? And Russia and China. I mean,
well, not Russia and China, but you see, you got the color revolution. It has 7 steps. If you Google it, you could find the 7 steps of a color revolution. The book was written, the plan was written, it was made up by the United States of America, and one of the first successful color revolutions was the Islamic Revolution in Iran. And they got all the kids, like they're doing here now, getting all the college kids to go around and get all upset.
They overthrew the Shah.
They overthrew the Shah,
that's how we have this.
Which the United States government installed too, but that's a whole nother story. They overthrew the Shah to put the Islamic Republic in, and then they got all the kids riled up, right? All the high schoolers and all the college kids. Like we got all the high schoolers, college kids, all riled up over ICE right now. Got them all riled up. Then they overthrew the Shah and installed the Ayatollahs, and then they killed all the college kids and high school kids.
Kind of like now.
Kind of like Mao Zedong did back in China. They got all the kids all riled up because kids don't know any better.
So
and then they killed them all.
So Mike, are you telling me that the money laundering now is going through Iran?
Yes. Not all of it. Some of it goes through Venezuela. Well, it did. Some of it goes through Cuba, not for long. Some of them went through Ukraine. You see, there's a pattern forming here.
Yeah, I get it. Okay, so it starts to make sense. It becomes very clear. So to me, because, we've all been waiting for this swamp to be drained. Nobody ever did anything ever. And the best way to obviously drain it is take away all their money.
This last year,
yeah,
has been taken away. I mean, from all the fraud, the USAID and all that stuff. Now we're finding the fraud in Minnesota, and we're finding the fraud in California. That's all funding the swamp.
Did you hear the gentleman that Josh Hawley was interviewing? They did an audit, and he said over $1 trillion a year is being stolen. He said, and so Josh says, $1 trillion? He says, yes. He says, where's the money going? He says, I'm glad you asked because nobody ever asked that question. It's going to child trafficking, human trafficking. It's going to drugs, and then and terrorism. And the remaining portion was for luxury items, beautiful homes, cars, boats, whatever, for the people.
Buying congressmen, yeah.
But he didn't name names, but this is what blows me away. You should be able to follow the money, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so it's not like
they are.
Okay, so when is this whole thing coming down? Because, I know you guys, this is what you do. It is not what I do. Okay. You guys are constantly looking into this stuff. I'm doing something completely different. I'm on the periphery, but here's what everybody wants to know, including myself. Is there really going to be arrests? Because I can't imagine them not having the goods on these people.
Have you ever watched? So I watched there was a Netflix documentary about these 2 Hungarian girls whose dad performed an experiment on them when they were just babies and started slamming them, homeschooled them, not a weird experiment, teaching them how to play chess. And they played chess at extremely high level. And then the one girl was just a phenom, and she ended up beating the greatest chess player in the world in the 80s.
Kasparov?
I don't remember what the name was. It was a very interesting documentary. But one of the things, if you ever watch 2 high-level chess players play, they're moving pieces all around the board, they're moving and counter-moving and trying to get leverage on each other, right? And then there may be 20 moves left, but then you see it on their faces, the game's over. Still 20 moves to go, but they both know the game's over and who the winner is and who the loser is, because they just got to play out the moves at this point, right? Well, what Donald Trump was doing in 2025 was moving the chess pieces around the board. And then when you get to the end, it's check, 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 mate. We're in the check now. We're checking everybody now. That's what's happening. We swoop in and get their operate. I mean, in the Western Hemisphere, Venezuela was their CIA deep state operation. I mean, all the voting systems, Dominion, Smartmatic, all stuff came from Venezuela. This is their operation, right? In the Middle East, it's Iran. The other one is Ukraine, as you talked about. You think about it. All the deep state players are screaming and hollering, we've got to go to continue the war. We've got it. So Hillary Clinton was being interviewed she was at Davos, and I think it was Czech Republic, one of the prime ministers from Czech Republic, they were on a panel, and he started talking about all of the evil things that people are doing, like Hillary Clinton. And how did Hillary Clinton respond? So what about Ukraine? People are dying over there for democracy. That she flipped it, because Ukraine is their last bastion, and they can't have peace in Ukraine. The minute they have peace, then there's investigations and stuff is going to come out.
Hillary Clinton and Obama really crafted that 16-year plan, and it culminated, or was supposed to end in World War III.
Well, and they arrogantly think that World War III will go in the West's favor. And who knows? I mean, once a war like that kicks off, you just don't know. I mean, the Germans were confident they could conquer all of Europe. Didn't work out well.
Then we came along, and President Trump has thrown a wrench in every single one of their plans. It's been beautiful.
Exactly.
I expected this military.
Check.
Yeah, I expected this military action against Iran. You don't put an armada of naval ships there and not plan on using them. But Sam, what about the media? You're a media guy. What do you think is going to be the response? How are they going to turn this around and make my president look bad?
This is the only way I see them doing it, is just to say it's illegal. He shouldn't be doing it. He talks about America first. He's conquering other countries. They're gonna spin it that way to try and make him look bad. That's their only hope in this one, because you can't go out anywhere, talk to anybody about Iran and how they've been sponsoring terrorism for years and say, so do you think that the Iranian regime is a good regime? And you can't find one person to go, oh my God, they're such amazing people. I love them.
Well, the people are great.
What's that?
The people are great.
Not the people. I'm talking the Iranian regime.
The regime is a bunch of evilist people. They're right up there with Hillary Clinton and evilness.
Yeah.
Demonic.
It's all fallen on deaf ears. At the end of the day, they have their base of people that are not critical thinkers, that are just going to parrot whatever they say. But at the end of the day, for people like you guys and for the people listening to the show, they want to hear both sides form their own conclusion, right? And this is where alternative media comes in. And thank God we have that technology today, because otherwise, you got to hear this crap coming out of their mouths going, and you can't even seek out anything else, because it wasn't there 30, 40 years ago. It's gotten nuts.
I love that President Trump seems to do things on Fridays or early Saturday mornings when most of the media is shut down and nobody really watches on the weekends anyway. That was Bill Clinton's trick. Whenever he wanted to release some kind of bad news, he'd do it on a Friday after 5 p.m. Pacific. And then by the time all the weekend talk shows would hash it out on their Sunday mornings, come Monday, they'd already moved on to something else. I don't think that's President Trump's plan, but I do think he wants to hit it and quit it. He wants to get in there and get out quickly, like we did in Venezuela. I think this is going to be wrapped up in a week. I mean, Khomeini's dead. Ding dong, Khomeini's dead. And then I hear some CBS reporter on Saturday, some CBS reporter saying, well, President Trump, it was President Trump who announced on his Truth Social platform that Khomeini is dead. the leader of Iran. And she said, well, Donald Trump, they don't call him president, has a long history of being dishonest when he puts out news like that. That was her response. She didn't give any examples of how he's been dishonest in the past, things that they said it was not true, and then it turned out to be true time and time again. She didn't cite an example. She just threw that out there. That's what they do. They're like attorneys, defense attorneys in a courtroom throwing out crap, and they know that the impression's already been made on the jury, and that's all they care about. Whether it was true or not, doesn't matter. They're going to do that starting Monday and all this coming week, aren't they, Sam?
100%. I mean, that's their job. By the way, that's what they get paid to do. Okay, so you can't fault them for it. Right? That's their job. It's what they do. You have to understand that, right? But how many people are actually watching mainstream media compared to alternative media? What's the percentage?
Nobody.
You tell me. You got some amazing numbers when it comes to that. Enlighten us.
Most of them, and I was just on another show, and I told the guy the average person watching cable news was 72 or 3, and he said to me, I don't believe that. And he looked it up and it was 70 years old, right? So I heard it from somebody who was in the business, and now, Grok told him it was 70. Here's the point. At some point in time, with nobody following up behind, right? And everybody's going to platforms for their content, whether it's Rumble or YouTube or TikTok or Instagram. At some point in time, all the ad revenue is going to be gone because the audience won't be big enough. It just keeps diminishing and nobody's coming. So I don't give them more than 5 years, but at least what they're doing is showing their true colors, right? Because, when we hear this stuff, and I'm sure the people listening to the show, you just get disgusted. And so people end up tuning out. And so that's like that. The only reason I ever listen to them is because I have to. Otherwise, I would never do. Same thing with you guys. You have to do it too. Otherwise, you'd be like, CNN, is that still in business? Do they still broadcast? I didn't even know that.
They are. They're sans Don Lemon these days. But
my son, who's about to reach a few years away from retiring from the Air Force, has never paid for cable, subscription, satellite, anything ever. He's never had cable or satellite or anything. He's a stream to everything. So it kind of tells you that where we're going with this.
Mike, did you see the video of people in Iran celebrating in the streets where an entire city, somebody held a cell phone camera outside of their window in their apartment, and you could hear it everywhere. The whole city was alive with people screaming and shouting and whistling and clapping and cheering. It was amazing. The people of Iran are ecstatic over all this, just like the people of Venezuela were too when the word came out that Maduro's gone. And the mainstream media never showed any of that. Did you see it?
No. Well, they're out there screaming that they love Trump and they love Bibi Netanyahu. And I tell you what, here in the United States, there's some Bibi Netanyahu haters. I mean, haters. They can't stand that. But they're screaming and hollering and cheering and just emotional. There's TikTok videos, emotional when they found out that the supreme leader had met his demise. Let me tell you this too. So Aaron, my friend Aaron, you've had him on your show. He messaged me and told me that his brother's in the IDF and some other family members of his in the IDF. Wow. He's Jewish, lives in Canada. He said that one of the things that they did, he said it was beepers 2.0. You remember the beepers that blew up on everybody? You remember that? Yeah. He says for over the last 10, 15, 20 years, they've been smuggling doctors and dentists and like hindquarter doctors, you know what I mean? And they're the ones that give you the test, and they've been smuggling them into Iran. And so when they're in there drilling, so when the head of the War Department, the Iranian War Department, whatever you call it, comes in to get that cavity filled, they're putting a tracking device in their tooth. Legit, for real. Or when they got to have a surgery and have a little polyp removed, they're leaving a little extra in there, a tracking device.
Really?
That's how they do where everybody was. That's how
tracking
they killed.
Device my ass. Oh yeah, literally.
That's how they found and killed everybody. because they all had tracking devices on them. And then they announced today the interim supreme leader, and 2 hours later they bombed that guy. It's just, I mean, it's there. That's crazy. And so you're asking about the people. The people are they're in the streets right now. I just want to show you. Let me see if I got it queued up. Let me cue it up.
While he's looking for that, Sam, let's revisit why Iran got in the position of power that they're in now. Don't forget, it was Hillary Clinton who sold them uranium, and Russia too.
Yeah, Russia. I don't.
Sold them
Russia,
our uranium. Why is a Secretary of State doing that? Why would she have that kind of power and sway? And then, yes, Obama. 2 pallets of cash in different denominations and different currencies, different world currencies, over almost $2 billion in cash, just in the middle of the night. And nobody even asked, what the hell is this? Why are we doing this? What's this all about? We gave it to Iran. No explanation. The media never went after Obama about that. Obama needs to be doing the perp walk. So does Hillary Clinton. And then, of course, Joe Biden. Look at all he did to empower Iran and unfroze the assets that we had frozen during the whole beginning of problems with them. We had their money under wraps. Joe Biden unfroze those assets and let them have their money back.
So do you think that was doing all that stuff was to enrich themselves through the Clinton Foundation, right?
With Hillary Clinton, it definitely was, because she got big money donated after she did all them deals with the uranium. She got big money donated to the Clinton Foundation.
So why would Obama? I mean, what I'm trying to figure out is, because you're saying this is where all the money laundering is going. Mm-hmm. So, somehow they have a relationship with Iran on the side.
Mike?
I'm trying to figure out if it's Iran or if it's other entities. Iran is a captured state. Iran is the boogeyman that the CIA needed to run all its wars and all the other things that it had going on. So yeah, that was payment to Iran. Of course, it's all laundered back, but it's payment to Iran and to the mullahs and to the leaders of Iran to continue. And of course, it gets distributed down to their proxies to continue doing what they do, because the deep state needs an enemy to have a perpetual war with, and that's what we've had. I mean, all of the roadside bombs, IEDs and stuff that was in Iraq and Afghanistan, that was all Iran. Hezbollah is Iran, Hamas is Iran, the Muslim Brotherhood is Iran, CARE is Iran. All these organizations are Iran, and all their money comes from us. So yeah,
as sick as that sounds, I get it. And so cutting off the money by getting rid of the regime in Iran is going to make it more difficult for these people to operate without the capital. Because no matter what, these IEDs cost money. Everything costs money. Anything they want to do, any bombs they want to create. So all of a sudden, this is draining the swamp even bigger, right?
Well, and remember, too, adding to what you were saying, if you think back, and this is just off the top of my head, Valerie Jarrett is Iranian. She was instrumental in the Obama administration. Mark Elias has connections to Iran. He's a Muslim who was instrumental in the Clinton administration and is now the Attorney General in Minnesota. Okay. Aberdeen, who's now married to George Soros Jr., used to be married to Anthony Weiner, but he got busted for showing his wiener. She was personal assistant to Hillary Clinton, very personal, and she's Iranian.
Aberdeen, yeah.
So you got to think about that.
Yeah.
People don't realize, there's a lot of people going around, our government's controlled by the Jews. They're controlled by the Muslims too. By way more standard if you look at it.
Yeah.
So
What did you were looking for something, Mike? What did you find it?
I found that. I want to go before I do that. I just want to mention you asked me about will somebody start getting arrested. I want to touch on that again.
Sure.
So let me ask you this. Let's say that we have pictures, we have videotape, we have audio tape, we have it all of Bill Clinton down on Epstein Island diddling little kids. They got all of it. What charges can the United States of America bring?
Great question. He was doing it as a private citizen. I don't know if he was while he was president, but I don't know. Tell me. Do you know?
None.
They can't. I was wondering that too. This whole congressional hearing of the Clintons. Congressional hearing of the Clintons. I'm like, why are we concentrating on the Epstein thing? Why don't you concentrate on the Clinton Foundation? Because we actually have proof there.
Right. Well, see, here's the thing. Epstein's Island is a British territory. We have no jurisdiction. We can't bring any charges. Anything that went on now, when you talk about his ranch and other things, and there's some talk about that now. But you know what? We can't bring charges on. And there's a grand jury meeting in Florida right now. Seditious conspiracy. All these people are tied up in the seditious conspiracy to overthrow the government and a duly elected president of the United States of America. That's where your charges will come from. So when you talk about people starting to get arrested, I want to get arrested for Epstein. Well, so far everything's down there at the island, and
so it's legal to do it on foreign soil.
Well, it's not that it's legal to do it on foreign soil. It's that we have no jurisdiction to bring charges on we have no authority. It would have to be the British. If you notice, there's a couple of British people that are being arrested.
I noticed one. Who's the second?
Prince Andrew, and then the Lord, I don't know, the Lord other guy. I don't know. I don't
follow the long line of other guys.
Yeah, I don't follow the British royalty all that much. I'm like, we kicked them out a few years ago, and I'm not interested. But let me show you the video.
Okay.
This is a video of a worship service, a Christian worship service of Iranians. Is it adding to the stage? It's supposed to be. Oh, wait a sec. There we go. Now we'll add it to the stage. There. That's a Christian song that I recognize. Yeah. They're singing in Farsi. Now, up until a few days ago, that'd get you killed.
Right. That's amazing.
So it's a miracle worker, promise keeper. I don't remember. The song is called Promise Keeper. I can't remember the word.
That's in the United States, though.
I'm not sure where this is, actually.
Oh, okay.
I can't find anything where it is. But the point is, you have Iranians worshiping God in their language, wrapped in their flags, after Khomeini has been killed. And not worshiping the Muslim God, worshiping the Christian God.
During that when they shut down the internet and everything, and there was like radio silence for good heavens, how long? 1-2 weeks. How many have you seen any numbers? How many of their own people did the Ayatollah have murdered for daring
upwards of 36,000?
That's what I heard. Over 30,000 people. Crazy.
And there's way more than that missing. This is Iranian women, not a single hijab in sight. Here you go. This is Iranian women in Iran.
Wow.
See, Donald Trump already said, we're not coming in to set up your government for you. That's on you. You guys want a government? Set up a government.
I love that he literally told the people, he sent out a message to the people of Iran, stay inside, hide away, stay low. But the time is coming that we're going to say, get out there and restart your world.
Yep.
I think that's fantastic. So it's still going on. And of course, Iran, in true Iran fashion, started just lobbing missiles to everything, including Dubai, hit buildings in Dubai, firing in Israel.
They didn't just hit buildings in Dubai. They hit the two wealthiest, biggest hotels, the two biggest tourist hotspots. What's Dubai have for their economy is tourism and oil. And they hit them in tourism, and then they hit some of their platforms off in the ocean there. So they went after their two sources. So Iran's not playing out, and they're attempting to shut off the Strait of Hormuz. Only Donald Trump sunk most of their navy today. So good luck.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Oh, I hadn't seen that part yet. I was at that Chad Bianco event. Oh, did he really?
Yep. Here you go. Speaking of it, right here. Vitamin B2. Give him a little vitamin B2. And I'll tell you this. So I live to the southwest of me, about 10 miles, is Whiteman Air Force Base. I literally live in the landing pattern for Whiteman Air Force Base. And Friday night, early Saturday morning. Now, the B-2s are very quiet when it's at altitude, but when it's taken off, it rumbles the doors. And it was constant for like an hour and a half.
Wow.
And then I woke up and I looked at the news and I said, oh.
So they were on their way.
They carry enough fuel they could literally fly all the way over there.
No, they have to be refilled.
They refuel them.
They're in the air, they have to?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Whew.
It's a long ride.
Like 8 times they have to refill to get there. It's 21 hours.
And you can't exactly have them flying off aircraft carriers. But
no, not exactly.
So Sam, how's the rest of the world media-wise reacting to all of this? Do you know?
Only what I've seen here and on my own platform, right? I haven't, looked at any other news throughout the world, but, on our platform, it's just reporting of the news. I haven't got a lot of opinion pieces yet, but I guarantee you come tomorrow morning, they're going to start coming in. Usually the stuff really starts picking up steam, Monday afternoon and starts going, but this all just happened. So, it hit when? What day was it? Like Friday or Saturday morning, right? So today's Sunday morning, we got the news. 30 hours. So it's all going to start picking up steam. And, I would suspect just like normal, you're going to have the liberals that are going to be, liberal media knocking this. And this is a threat to our democracy. Yes. Getting rid of a regime that wants all of you dead is a threat to your democracy. It's to me, I just can't even believe people buy it. That you have to be dumber than dumb to not be able to. Exactly. There are a few people, but as I always say, they're irrelevant. The average age of people watching cable news is fairly high up there, and as everything moves, I give mainstream media maybe 5 years, and if the average person lives to 78, it's not like they're mainstream media is going to go, wait a minute, one guy's still watching. CharLee Simons is still on. Don't shut it down. So.
Well, at some point, the advertisers are going to have to go, this ain't worth it no more.
It's all that's what I'm saying. So lose about another 20-30% of the audience, and all the money's going to the platforms, guys.
There's a reason why, like, is it ABC that got bought out by somebody?
Disney.
They're going through and firing everybody.
Disney. Bought ABC. That's going back to the 90s.
No. Just recently.
He's talking just recently. We just published it. Hold on. I'll look.
Yeah, look at that. Because they're going through. And all the lefties,
I'm glad I had you guys on.
All the lefties are mad because they're firing everybody and they're saying, look, we got to put news out not opinion. We're going to go back to, just the news. And they're like, oh no, we're dignified, blah, blah, blah. We're fired.
It's the $34.5 billion Cox merger, right?
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh, Cox Media. That's a big
it's
one.
Charter Communication acquired Cox Communications.
No, it's ABC. ABC, MSNB, no, NBC, MSNBC, NBC, all of them are restructuring under the new leadership regime that's taken over. Now, I don't know if it was purchased or they just put a new CEO in or what the case was, but they're gutting NBC News. They're gutting it. That's what it was. Also, Netflix has pulled out of the acquisition of Warner Brothers. So now Paramount is going to be getting Warner Brothers. So
Warner Brothers owns CBS.
Warner Brothers is the movie production and TV production. So Warner Brothers would be.
CBS used to be General Electric. I don't know. I don't even know who owns it. Oh, Westinghouse. I don't even know who owns them now. I don't follow that anymore. I'm not involved. I don't work through the networks. I don't even know what's going on.
They own HBO. I'm reading it. CNN, DC Entertainment, Cartoon Network, Adult Swim, Turner Classic Movies, Discovery Channel, TLC, HGTV, Food Network, Eurosport, and streaming platform Max.
That's
what they are. That is Warner Brothers.
Warner Brothers.
And
now Paramount is buying them. Was Netflix. Now Barack Hussein Obama is a minority owner of Netflix. Did you know that?
Yes.
No.
They're the ones who produced that little movie he did, that little docudrama showing us what they were going to try and do to us.
Oh, the end of the world one with the ship hitting. Yeah. I watched that. It was dumb.
It really was. Yeah, it was very poor film. But it fulfills their need to let us know in advance what they're planning on doing to us to assuage their guilt.
Their plans are not working out right now because Donald Trump keeps interrupting their rules-based international order and stuff. Their democracy. We
got to pray for his safety, man. He's got.
I would agree with that. So, Mike. I got a question for Mike here. So as all this unravels, and he's got 3 more years, he's got to drain the swamp. But the way you do it is through taking all the money away. Once the money's gone, they're done, right? How do you see this all playing out?
Well, you see now, there's a lot of different thoughts out there, and a lot of people are saying a lot of dumb stuff. There's what I call patriot mythology. And they say all this, it's just so much. Everything to Edgar suits. It's just ridiculous.
Edgar suits.
Well, they're saying, I'll get people on my show in the comment section. Well, Hillary Clinton's dead, and that's just an impersonator.
Oh, I know.
Joe Biden's dead. I mean, well, he's walking dead, but Barack Obama's dead. Well, and then they'll say, look, here's a picture of Hillary Clinton when she was, 29, and here's a picture of her today. Look how different she is. And
that's called adrenochrome.
No, that's called age. Take a picture of me 10 years ago and me today. There's a big difference. I don't look like the same guy. But, when I was 39, now that I'm 54, there's a difference. 99% of that. But so that's the kind of crap that's being put out.
Plus all the work they've had done. And don't forget Ozempic face. That's a new thing now.
Let me tell you something. There's a video of Donald Trump. I think it was in December. I think he was on the plane and they were doing the press gaggle and they asked him about Mar-a-Lago. Now, Donald Trump is poker face. He's got the greatest poker face there is. He's very precise in the words he says. I know that the media says that he's just an idiot and spouts things out. No, he's not. He says things to get a reaction from you so he can move those chess pieces around, okay? He sets you up a year in advance with the stuff that he says, probably even more than that. They asked him about Mar-a-Lago, and there was a facial change. That's the only time, and I don't have the video queued up because I didn't think this question was coming, or I'd have it. It's the only time I've seen, watching Donald Trump all these years, where his poker face came down for a half a second, and you saw fire. That dude is angry.
Rightly
And
so.
he said you saw it come down and you saw the burning in his eyes, and he said they went through my wife's underwear drawer.
And his son, Barron.
Let me tell you, you asked, what do I think is going to happen? 2025 was moving the pieces around, getting everything in place, as you said, shutting off the money, whether it was USAID or 1.4 million non-existent people receiving checks from the government in their payroll. Just think about that for a second. Where'd that money go?
Right.
No one's ever asked that question. I guarantee they know exactly where that money went. You got all the Somalia stuff. You got all the fraud. There's fraud in every state of the union. You said earlier, someone said $1 trillion. Donald Trump said this, just like if you look it up, you can find it. One of his news conferences. He said, if we get rid of the fraud, we can balance the budget.
He said that in the State of the Union.
Yeah, okay, that's how much fraud there is. Okay, so he's cutting that. That is the swamp. That's how they pay for it all. Gets rid of all of that. And then you got this seditious conspiracy stuff. Tulsi Gabbard this weekend was on with PBD, Patrick Ben David. And she said that they just found a room in her office building. She's the director of national intelligence. And they just found an office, a SCIF, unknown to anyone, in her building with people in it working it that had documents in it, thousands and thousands of documents that nobody's ever seen before.
I heard it.
And she said, we've turned it over to the lawyers to see what's actionable in it. Let me tell you something. We were in the season of putting things in place in 2025. 2026, we're going into the retributional president. Donald Trump knows the Epstein stuff and who's guilty and who he can charge. Donald Trump knows who did seditious conspiracy against the United States of America. Now, who are you talking about? Clapper, Brennan, Comey, Joe Biden, former President Barack Obama, Adam Schiff, those just to name a few. He knows these people committed sedition against the United States, treason. Okay, and they have it all. He knows that election fraud took place. Tulsi Gabbard, the media threw an absolute tizzy fit that Tulsi Gabbard was down in Georgia when the FBI raided Georgia. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
The reason that she was there is because she's the director of national security, and there is evidence that foreign entities were working with Dominion and Smartmatic and the government of Georgia, the governor, the Secretary of State, and the people in Fulton County to cause sedition to the United States of America by stealing an election. He knows Arizona. He knows Michigan. He has all this information. So why isn't he doing anything with it? Because he's a politician. He learned the first time around that politics, he thought when he came to office, and he said this, he's dealt in a world where when he wants to hire a contractor, he hires the best in the world. There's nobody better than the guy he hires. When he wants to hire an architect to draw up the blueprints, the best in the world. When he wants to hire a interior designer, it's the very, very best. These people became the best through state competition, working their ways up. I mean, you probably deal with some of those folks down there in South Florida. I mean, you know what I'm talking about. These are the very best. And that's what he's used to dealing with. He assumes that if you're the best architect in the world, you got there because you're the best, right? So he gets to D.C. and he assumes if you're the Speaker of the House, you're the brightest of the bunch. If you're the majority leader, you're the brightest of the bunch. If you're the head of EPA or the head of the NRA or whatever, I don't know, you name it, you're the best. It turns out not so. And he realized that these are just a bunch of idiots.
No, they're the best money can buy.
Yeah.
Best DEI can place.
So what he's going to do as we get closer to the election, he's going to start unloading this stuff. As soon as the primaries in Missouri start next in about a month, a couple other places are having them in a few weeks. As soon as your primaries are over and the candidates are made, that's when the stuff starts coming out. And people are going to be destroyed, not physically, politically, spiritually, emotionally. And by the time we get around to December, or time we get around to November, there will be politicians who self-deport.
Quitting.
Self-deport. Either the country or the planet. One or the other. It's going to happen.
Self-deport off the planet.
Well, I'm optimistic. I don't know that that's the way it's going to go down. I'm really hoping they're stockpiling all this ammunition of intel that they have. And at the last minute, we wake up one day. And I was hoping it would be at the State of the Union when at the end he started reading everybody their rights. I was really hoping to see that.
Although that was a foreshadowing. He was letting them know. You see, let me give you an example. It
was such a great speech, by the way. If you missed
it, that was the best State of the Union I've ever seen. And you don't want to know something? It's got like 89%. Like CNN did a poll and came back 89%. You know, all the bluster and all the things that the Democrats are doing right now, they've got to fear that number. No one gets 89%.
Approval rating.
Yeah, approval rating. So let me say this. Let me say this, though. Let me point something out. There's something to watch for. Understand what's going on here. So there's a lawsuit right now against one of your best friends out there in California at Eric Swalwell, because Eric Swalwell is running for governor. And you know, the question is he going to put Fang in the office anywhere? But he's running for governor. But the lawsuit coming from the Democrat side is he's ineligible to run, right? Because he lives in D.C., not in California.
Right.
Adam Schiff lives in Baltimore, not in California. His mortgage application says that's his primary residence. His kids go to school there. His wife lives there. Tim Burchett flies home to Tennessee every weekend to where his wife and his kids live, in his home, his real home, and where his kids go to school. His kids are graduated or grown now and have kids of their own, but his grandkids. You see, so he's not going to be caught up in this. But 90% of our government elected officials live in the D.C. area. And if they bought their mortgages as their primary residence, they now have a problem. Because they either committed mortgage fraud or they're ineligible to be in office.
That's what Christine Bish says, who's running for Congress here in NorCal. This is not a mortgage fraud thing like the media is trying to make it out to be.
It could be
far deeper. This is an election fraud thing.
Oh yeah, it could be mortgage
these people
fraud.
Have not even been eligible.
Which one are you going to take?
They're not even eligible to hold the office that they supposedly have been sworn into, even if they. And that's another thing. They're not even swearing their oath of office, by the way, because they'll be held to a higher standard if they do, and that's the UCMJ, Uniform Code of Military Justice. All these charges we're talking about that we hope
they're not
happen.
Subject to UCMJ.
It's if you take that oath of office, if you swear the oath of office,
they're civilians.
You sure about that?
Yes, they're civilians. They're not subject to UCMJ. And this is one of the things I try to correct people on. Because a lot of them, because there's that whole mythology, the military's the only way the military is going to come in and arrest everybody and take them to Gitmo. And look, Constitution applies. The UCMJ is only for the Uniform Code of Military Justice. They don't wear uniforms. They're not in the military. So civilian laws and civilian courts is where they come. And the quandary is this. They have a decision to make of which pill they want to take. Mortgage fraud? No. My primary residence is in California, but you said it was here. Or they're ineligible to run. Now, the ineligible run goes, you're out of office. The mortgage fraud goes, you're going to jail. So they're going to take the out of office deal. And it's a majority of our Congress.
Who was the woman that prosecuted Trump in New York? What was her name?
Letitia
James.
James.
Letitia James. So
Loretta St. James. That's what I call it.
they had her dead to rights. She owned a house. She called it her primary mortgage, which it wasn't, right? And they indicted her on it, and the judge threw it out. So
Why?
The same judge and James Comey as well.
Exactly.
Why was it thrown out?
The only answer that I could give you is because the judge had to be on the payroll. Or I know what they said. They said the person that indicted her was ineligible or shouldn't have been there. And so
right. So the person that indicted her was appointed by Trump interim, because Trump, there's still 250 attorneys across the country that have not been appointed by the Senate. And you know what the Senate did?
Is it that much? I thought it was like 90. There's 250 still sitting there waiting. Come on, Toon.
Yep. Well, they're not going to. They're trying to wait out Trump. They're trying to wait out 2026 so that Thune would rather have, you have a 51-49 or a 49-51. Thune would rather have a 49-51 where he is the minority leader but still in power than have all these attorneys through in the filibuster, pass the SAVE Act. The SAVE Act's not going to pass. Pass the SAVE Act and secure our elections, because if we secure our elections, it's an 80-20 country. We will have an 80, not this time around. It'll take a couple of cycles, but we will have an 80-20 House and an 80-20 Senate.
In the meantime, though, Trump can put it into effect through an executive order.
Exactly what's going to happen. Not just an executive order.
Trying to do it the right way.
No. It'll be a national emergency executive order because of interference in our elections from foreign adversaries, which is what Fulton's about. That's what's going to happen. The SAVE Act is not going to pass because the Republicans in leadership, and I'm talking a majority of the Republicans in the Senate, don't want it to pass because of either two reasons. One, they will lose their power if they get a bunch of red-blooded American conservatives, mega types in there because they get voted out, or they cheated too. That's why.
Kind of like the insider trading. How many Republicans are on that list too are now multimillionaires because of the little stock trades that they make.
Did you see Nancy Pelosi has always been for a ban on the insider trading? She just never could get it passed.
Yeah.
Talk about BS.
I think a lot of these charges are not being brought forth because of these dirty judges. This is where we come in. If we don't show up in numbers too big to ignore for the primary election, you there in Missouri, you said it's in May, and it's here June in California.
I think it's in
I don't know
April.
about you in Florida. But if we don't show up in huge numbers and actually give our president a solid majority in the House and the Senate, they can't impeach these dirty judges. And we'll have a Letitia James Comey thing happen all over again with these dirty judges. Oh, yeah, we found them completely guilty and they're being sentenced. Oh, yeah, one judge goes, yeah, no. For whatever
reason. If we don't pass the SAVE Act, or Donald Trump doesn't do his thing, if we don't pass the SAVE Act and secure our elections, it doesn't matter how many Republicans turn out to vote. It doesn't matter.
But you said he's going to do an executive order.
I think he's going to do it. Well, not only is he going to do an executive order, but he's going to declare a national. He's going to do basically the I forget the act, what it's called now. What's the act called?
Powers.
The one from the Civil War. And I can't think of the name of it now. Anyways, he's going to do that. He's going to declare a national emergency. He's going to force the local election officials with the National Guard. The National Guard is going to go in and secure our elections. That's what's going to happen. That's why he has those rapid deployment teams across every state in the union right now.
That doesn't surprise me. It actually makes sense because, looking at what Congress has been doing, we have the best Congress money could buy. So, they're probably looking at Trump as this guy's disrupting our way of life. How can I possibly afford the $20 million house I have? Right.
Absolutely.
All the payroll, honestly, I think Trump's really just throwing it out there, showing you who the absolute pieces of crap are by who doesn't vote for it. Then he's going to come down and say, oh, by the way, this is an executive order. Here's the reason why. So somebody has to do this. And all of a sudden now you're going to have some kind of sanity in these elections. And I do agree with you to a point. I don't think it's 80-20. I think it's 90-10.
Okay, well, whatever.
Wow, you think it's that much?
Yeah, I do.
You're talking about people who are actually conservative in the United States of America. Only 10% are far left.
You saw the numbers with Democrats that 71% of them believe that we should have some kind of voter ID.
Voter ID.
I think that, what was it? You guys know the numbers, like 85 or 90 that Republicans that believe it, right? That we should have some kind of voter ID. My point is even in the Democrat Party, it's still a massive number. And the people in power that represent them are not representing them. They're representing their own self-interest.
It's like 71% of the Democrats want the SAVE Act. It's like 71%. Yes. It's like 90% of Republicans. And it's like 79, 80% of independents. I mean, the SAVE Act is, and then the arguments that the Democrats are making against the SAVE Act is pushing the SAVE, because here's their argument in the nutshell. Married women, black people, and Hispanic people are too stupid to get an ID.
To get an ID, yeah. And that's something. Chuck Schumer literally said that. Didn't say too stupid, but that's the implication, that they're not able to get IDs.
What other explanation is there?
There is none. No, I agree.
And that's your argument against the SAVE Act. I mean, and then to top it off, the cherry on top of all of it, Donald Trump in the State of the Union said, stand up if you want to represent the American citizens over illegal immigrants, not immigrants, illegal immigrants. And the Democrats didn't stand up.
Couldn't even stand up. In the meantime, Senate Majority Leader Thune said, yeah, we don't have time to really, push the SAVE Act thing. But he hosts a dog show.
Yep.
In the chambers. That's where all the senators brought their dogs. And they had a little dog parade, and they had a little dog show showing off their dogs. And then he's stunned that people were so outraged over that. My post on that was, do you understand now why people hate you so much? Republican and Democrat, anyone in the House and Senate
will win his primary.
He will, won't he?
Yeah. And
but that doesn't mean we need to.
Hand-picked guy will win the primary, whoever that is.
I mean, we had some renegades kick out McCarthy in the House, and that's how we got Mike Johnson. Maybe something like that could happen in the Senate. Maybe,
but the Senate's takes way more. By the way, speaking of McCarthy, Marjorie Taylor Greene was supporting McCarthy. You remember that?
Say that again.
Marjorie Taylor Greene was supporting McCarthy.
Yeah.
When that all happened.
Yeah. When
Marjorie Taylor Greene, the question I have with her, she has gone off the rails, right? And she quit in the middle of her term.
Just like McCarthy did.
Why? I mean, I'm bringing truth to power, but you were part of the power. You could say anything you wanted to say on the House floor, and you couldn't get sued for it. I mean, that's constitutional law. And you quit. You had the biggest platform in the world other than the presidency. Why did you quit? That's the question there is a reason. I don't know what it is, but there's a reason.
Do you have any inkling? Maybe
I just figured it's because once Trump didn't endorse her anymore, she just said, you know what, I don't want to be here anymore.
No,
he wouldn't endorse her to run for Senate because he said
he's never endorsed her.
Chance. He never did.
He's never endorsed her.
Oh, interesting.
I think she was never really who she said she was. and who she is now is who she really was.
Oh, okay.
And I think there's some skeletons in the closet.
I can't wait for them all to go away. I can't wait for these charges to start coming, raining down. I can't wait to see.
I will tell you, a few months back, I had a lunch with Mark Fincham, and he told me it's all coming. He did. He said, Sam, trust me. This is, out of Arizona.
Yeah.
Yeah. He said, it's all coming. I said, are you sure? He goes, I am sure.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's delayed to have maximum effect on the next election. That's what this is about.
Well, then this stuff has to come out probably in September, right? August.
Some of it will. Some of it. The basic knowledge and understanding of all the things that's going on will happen before May 17th. So, not exactly specific charges on people.
That's before the primaries, then.
But listen to my reasoning. The basic knowledge and understanding of you got to understand. This time last year, Epstein was a conspiracy theory. Now we're not only talking about Epstein, but Hillary Clinton herself is bringing up Pizzagate. Right? Okay. The basic understanding of the evil that happened, that they stole the election, that Epstein was real, that more than Epstein, Pizzagate and Wayfairgate and all the other stuff was real, that these people really were doing this stuff, there's so much, I'm trying to cram it all, but all the things will be known by May. And here's why. Okay.
You're talking 2 months from now.
Yes. We're going to get into this. Not that people will be arrested by then, but people will have an understanding of the things that were going on. The sedition, the Russia stuff, how the media was a big conglomerate. They were all involved. And there's a zillion things I'm missing just because I had a list one time written down. I don't know what I did with it. It's pages of stuff that what I'm saying is we'll have an understanding of it by May 17th. May 17th is the day that Donald Trump declared that we will renew our covenant as a nation with God, that we will go back to declare the United States as a nation under God. That was the foundation of our country in the beginning. And so basically, in a spiritual sense, our nation will repent to God. But in order to repent, we have to know what sins we're repenting of as a nation. And so I think that the knowledge of the corruption and the evil and the things that have been done will be made known, and that the American people, by and large, will understand these things by then. Now, the ramifications of that will take the rest of the year, maybe a couple of years, to pan out. But
yeah, I was going to ask that, Sam. How do you think the left is going to react to that? Are they going to take it to the streets? Is it going to be Civil War time, or are they just going to go, okay, you got us, I guess it's done. Oh well, we quit.
So, CharLee, if you're talking about
this,
Pizzagate, just for a second, you froze. So if you're talking Pizzagate and the left, see, right now the left doesn't believe that there's people out there that are murdering and eating children. And I have to tell you, I bet you not one of them is going to be on board with this. Once they're convinced that this actually happened, you're not going to hear a peep. They're going to be like, that's sick.
Yep.
Come on. I mean, look, you're fighting for a cause. You believe in your cause. You believe the Clintons. You believe the Obama. You believe these are all good people. But if they came out and told you that they were eating kids, you might change your mind.
Change your mind a little bit.
I mean, so all of a sudden they go, wait, what? Did you use hot sauce? I mean,
well, Hillary Clinton kept talking about hot sauce, so that's
hot sauce in her purse. There's it in her purse. Speaking of Hillary Clinton, Sam, did you see her saying, "Yeah, we did make a mistake at the border. Oh yeah, we probably shouldn't have done that."
I didn't hear her say it, but
Hillary Clinton.
I
You see
didn't
that,
hear her
Mike?
Yes. And it's not that they made a mistake at the border. It's that they didn't do it right.
Didn't do it right.
What would have been the right way?
Probably the legal way.
Not getting caught.
How do you not get caught? They flooded 20 or 30 million people, through the border. How do you not get caught?
How long did people not even know what was going on? Because the media wasn't reporting on it.
Is that the
We
truth?
were in the alternative media, but nobody else in the mainstream was talking about it.
It's kind of like I've been bashing on Thomas Massey because he's been Epstein since July of last year. Prior to that, I think he has 2 posts in 20 years about Epstein. And I'm like, dude, why are you harping on Donald Trump? Why haven't you done anything about it? He came out like last fall and said that he's got these victims and that they've told him a list of names and he's going to release the list of names. So I hereby declare, I did this on my show, that Thomas Massey needs to release those names immediately. What is he covering up? You see how I did that, just like he's doing with Trump?
Yeah.
None of these people, not Thomas Massey, not Marjorie Taylor Greene, not Nancy Pelosi, not Chucky Schumer, not Barack Obama, not Joe Biden, not George W. Bush. None of these people ever said anything about Donald Trump. And then they want to go and say, Donald Trump hasn't done enough. Well, he's the only one to do anything. And let me tell you this, none of these people, okay, Whoopi Goldberg said, oh, well, if you're on the list, it doesn't necessarily mean you did anything, when it turned out her name's on the list.
Yes.
To which I say this, if you're on the list, it doesn't necessarily mean that you did anything, but it does mean you knew about it and did nothing.
Right. Amen. Exactly.
Yeah,
Which
no,
is
because I've always said not everybody did something wrong, but you have to know what was going on, right?
That's just it. Donald Trump is the only one. Donald Trump is the only one who, like in, when was it, 2006, 2012? I don't know, a long time ago, kicked him out of his club, went to the police and said, do something about this guy. Nobody's doing anything. When the prosecutor was prosecuting him, he called the prosecutor and said, what do you want to know? Because everybody knows this, but nobody's doing anything. Donald Trump's the only one to do anything. Now, we were talking about, since you guys were on the subject, we were talking about eating pizza, eating children, eating it. Just, they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats. We're talking about eating. So Lauren Boebert went on Bill Maher. Did y'all see that?
I didn't
know. No.
Okay.
Lauren Boebert?
Yes. So it says, let me add you guys to the screen. I hit the wrong button. Let's get that right. Okay. It says, Bill, in 2020, Democrats aren't a part of a pedophile sex ring. Bill in 2026. Okay. Maybe some of the, talking about Bill Maher, maybe some of the Democrats were, but they definitely don't eat people. New rule. Don't call something a conspiracy theory just because you don't want it to be true. Now watch. Here's an excerpt from the interview.
To QAnon a couple of weeks ago. I said, when it comes to this Epstein stuff, you had it righter than me. Now, they also believe a lot of real batshit nonsense. But when it comes,
you think it's batshit,
they don't eat babies. Democrats don't eat babies. You think they eat babies?
There is a lot of consumption talk in the stuff. Now, are there babies? I don't know. No, you can laugh all you want. But I mean, there is some sick stuff in here that is implying.
But that's not eating babies.
Maybe,
come on.
I'm not saying they're eating babies. I'm saying there is talk of consumption, and it ain't pizza. And I'm not saying that I am QAnon by any means, but this is deep, dark, satanic, awful, sacrificial, and this stuff is gross.
See, this is what I'm saying. Here I am sacrificing myself, saying, you know what, I was wrong, QAnon, and then you don't meet me halfway. You insist they might be eating babies.
I just think there's some questionable stuff.
Here's what it is. QAnon said there's this vast elites around the world conspiracy to, traffic kids and pedophiles, and they were more right than I thought they were. Okay, so that's what I'm giving you. And it wasn't just Prince Andrew in the parlor with the dildo. Okay, it was a lot of different people.
All right, then there's one more.
Okay.
Lauren tweeted this afterwards. They sure as hell weren't eating. They sure as hell weren't eating pizza and frozen jerky, because that was came out in the Epstein file. They kept talking about pizza and frozen jerky.
Frozen jerky. Excuse me. The pizza refers to young girls. The frozen jerky.
I haven't a clue, but they talked.
I know they talked about hot dogs. Of course, those are the young boys.
In the Epstein files, they talked about jerky. They didn't say beef jerky. They didn't say turkey jerky. They said jerky. And they talked about it being stored in the freezer.
Oh, gee whiz.
The purpose of jerky, for the audience that doesn't know, is to preserve food. They've been making jerky for millennia by dehydrating and salting meat so that it will preserve. You don't have to freeze jerky. So what are they freezing?
There's a sauna set aside in hell for these people. They're truly
no question. And I saw something online that gave you the breakdown of what the codes were, because then when you're reading this stuff, it makes more sense. I didn't make a copy of it, but I did see that video now that you brought that up. So it's always a conspiracy until it isn't, right?
Right.
And so it's very difficult for people to believe that somebody else would kill and eat a child. It really is.
Overton window.
You
ever heard the expression?
Is that what it's called, the Overton window?
Well, okay, so you've got the belief line, okay? The Overton window is here, all right? Over here's eating babies, right? So you've got to shift society into accepting that that's a reality. You got to move that window. Over here, this is reality. On the outside of that is conspiracy, nut job, kooky, wacko, Edgar suit stuff. So you gotta move that window of a reality into the accepting that sort of thing. And that's what I think Donald Trump is doing, by the way.
So how are you going to prove this? I mean, it's one thing to have all these, this communication and, the jerky in the freezer. How do you prove it unless you actually have videos showing it?
Well,
because even somebody that comes out and testifies, yes, we killed kids, still nobody's going to want to believe it. They're just going to say that guy's making it up.
Sidney Powell. Have you heard her story?
No.
When Anthony Weiner was showing off his wiener and got busted, he was sending, wiener pics to kids or something. I don't know. That's Anthony Weiner was a congressman, was married to Uma Aberdeen. Uma Aberdeen was Hillary Clinton's personal assistant at the time.
Yeah.
When Anthony Weiner got busted with his wiener out, they seized all of his computers, and on his computer they found a file that was called insurance. When they went through that file, they said there was 30,000. Well, Sidney Powell said there was 30,000. Tulsi Gabbard said there was hundreds of thousands of files.
And they still have it.
They still have it.
How do you not delete that stuff?
Sidney Powell evidence. On there was Hillary Clinton, supposedly, according to Sidney Powell, Hillary Clinton and Uma doing horrible things to a kid that was so horrible that these New York City cops, New York City detectives that were going through this had to go outside and puke. It was so bad. That's the story. That's the story. Now, several of those officers are dead. They self-deported the planet.
So how do you not release this information? If you want to screw this whole thing and just destroy it all, release it.
Well, where was that documentation held?
FBI.
Yeah,
specifically.
Biden's FBI.
The Southern District of New York.
Right. And they're the ones who would not relinquish, even though when the new Fed.
Who was the head of the Southern District of New York the last few years of Joe Biden?
Bragg?
James Comey's daughter.
Oh, thank you for the reminder.
So did they delete all the stuff? Because
James Comey's daughter.
So they're just, but why would you keep it? It's evidence somebody could get their hands on it.
Leverage.
Against the people who did it.
I don't know, but here's the thing. All that stuff's going to come out. I
think so?
You got to understand. How many times have we heard now the term burn bag?
Yeah.
So stuff like you said was supposed to be burnt. It didn't get burnt. It was preserved by somebody. I think that there's been good guys all along in the FBI and the DOJ and the NSA and all the ABCs that when this material was ordered to be packed up into a burn bag, didn't make it into the burn bag and made it into the corner behind the mop bucket or something, waiting for the day to when all of a sudden here it comes. Or when Donald Trump was president, his people in these agencies took that stuff and preserved it somewhere else. And now they're introducing it as we found a burn bag. Golly, we just found 100 million new Epstein files. That happened. That's another thing. So it was Epstein. Just follow the timeline with Thomas Massey and all of them. The people have never said anything about Epstein. They were Epstein, Donald Trump, Epstein, Donald Trump. All July, August, September, October, November, December of last year. December 19th, they passed that law. Donald Trump signed it to release the files that were held in the Southern District of New York. And they knew what was in those files. They knew that they'd been deleted. They'd been manipulated. They had to get Trump stuff in there. Those files, that's why Donald Trump said those files, that was a hoax. It wasn't real. And then on Christmas Eve, y'all remember this? On Christmas Eve, the White House announced that, golly Shazam, they just found millions of new Epstein documents. They just magic-appeared, as my son would say when he was 8 years old. Just magic-appeared. Just look at there. We got a bunch of new files. December 25th, all the way through in the middle of January, not a peep. Nobody said a doggone thing about those files. You know why? Because they knew what was in the Southern District of New York. They had no idea what Donald Trump had. The Clintons didn't agree to testify until those files were released because they didn't know what was in those files.
Okay, so, but the Clintons, if you really wanted to get the Clintons, all you do is release this stuff, show the crimes, and there'll be arrests that are made. We don't even need you to testify because your testimony is a waste of time. What did we learn from the Clintons? They had no idea who Jeffrey Epstein was. He was just some guy that they happened to be at some party.
But like Mike said earlier, on what charges?
Is it illegal to fly on a plane with Epstein?
No, but if you're murdering a kid, that's different.
But was that in the files?
You tell me.
And are files admissible even, or would that be enough evidence to go, okay, you're guilty because it's here in an email?
Probably not. No.
Even if you had, don't forget the Clintons are attorneys, bad ones. They've both been disbarred, but they know that there's really nothing. I mean, I look at Bill Clinton. It depends on what your definition of is. Never forget that. They wiggle out. There's always wiggle room when it comes to this kind of stuff. Mike's right on what charges. That's why I said we got to go after him for the Clinton Foundation fraud.
Now the Clintons. Now the Clintons are experts at rehearsing words. They had all the answers down pat. Hillary was asked in the press conference about why Ghislaine Maxwell was at her daughter's wedding. She said, I didn't know her. I mean, it was philanthropic. We were just down there in Haiti trying to help children. She didn't say that part. I added it. But as Donald Trump said that to Hillary Clinton's face, she said it takes a village, and she should know she's taken several of them. But you remember that at the dinner? So they asked her about why Maxwell was at the wedding, and she said, "Oh, she was just a plus one. That someone else brought her. She was a plus one. Blah blah blah." Well, I was watching somebody else who pulled up an article from the wedding. It was like a People magazine, that type of, the Hollywood type, TMZ type article. I don't remember who it was for. And she read the article, which said that the highly sought after, highly A-lister wedding of Chelsea Clinton, they are going through the guest list with a fine-tuned comb, and no plus ones are allowed. So was it a plus one? You see, she had her answer down, but she didn't think somebody would go back and read the Time magazine or the People magazine post about hyping up the wedding. No plus ones allowed. Mm-hmm.
No plus ones.
Yeah.
So I hope you're right.
What would they pop her with? Lying to Congress under oath? What are they going to pop her with?
That would be lying to Congress. Yes. However, that's not what's going to happen here. What's going to happen is it's going to be revealed, and it's not just Epstein. It's the entire evil apparatus that's going to be uncovered. That's what's going to happen. The Epstein stuff is just part of it. Someone was the other day, one of the things I've been telling people on my show to do is watch the trending things people are talking about. It was 3 months ago I started hearing Pizzagate again. Pizzagate. Now it's like all over the news. Now you're on Bill Maher talking about eating children, right? I said, God is bringing these things back into the language. People are starting to talk about, starting to buzz around. So this stuff is starting to, the connections between Clinton and the Maxwells and the Epsteins. But see, there's another one that popped up just the other day. I noticed somebody's asking, should we investigate? And I don't remember what they called it, but do you remember that high price madam 10 years ago that had all the prostitutes? There you go. She went to jail, but nobody else did. Who's the high price Johns?
Exactly.
And so all of that starting to come back around. People are starting to talk about this. And I think that this is, by the way, I don't think it's just Donald Trump. I think it's God. God's going to reveal this. And the specific word that was given, I don't know, maybe y'all don't do the prophecy thing, but I dabble in that. The specific word that was given is God was going to lift their skirt over their heads and reveal their nakedness. Now, that is a biblical term that's used over and over and over again in the Bible by God to say, I'm going to expose the things you don't want nobody to see. And so
I know that didn't come from God directly because he wouldn't use such poor grammar. But that's the Missouri in you. So my favorite
word is, I'm
is,
going to lift your skirt over your head and expose your nakedness is exact quote from the Bible. Like
that part, yeah.
I've said that so many times. I said that so many times.
I know, right?
One of my favorite scriptures is what is done in darkness will be exposed by the light. So that's it. It's just a matter of time. It will happen. That's
exposure.
Yeah.
And there's going to be some stuff. We're going to learn some stuff in the next coming months that we just didn't. We could probably live the rest of our life without knowing.
I hope so. Because I know it's coming. I'm optimistic about it. How it's going to play out. It's interesting to see everybody's viewpoint on this. Because at some point in time, there's too many people that know, and they just want this stuff released. And one of the things I thought, the Epstein files, that they released this stuff was because they want the public to know just what a piece of crap these people really are. Yeah. And if somebody decides to take the law in their own hands, well, so be it.
It's going to get so bad. It's going to get so bad this year as I said earlier, and this is the term I've been using, they're going to self-deport either to a non-extraditable country or the planet.
You mean like Iran or Venezuela?
Yeah.
They're going to go the way of P. Diddy. Remember P. Diddy?
Many of them are gonna self-deport the planet.
So name one country outside of China, and China won't want them, and certainly Russia won't want them, that you could self-deport, and if the U.S. wants you, they're not going to give them to you.
Brazil,
yeah,
Argentina.
I don't know which. You have to have an extradition treaty with them, and there are nations that you don't. I'm not something that I know enough about to answer that question, but there are countries that you can go to that are non-extraditable countries. Like they don't care. Especially there are countries that if you've got some wealth, you can buy your way into, and they'd love to have you, and they won't send you away. But as far as specific countries, it's not an issue I've ever had to worry about. So I don't know exactly which ones they are.
I don't really think that's going
to. And I don't want to go searching. I don't want to go searching for that. Come up on some list.
Listen, I think if all this stuff comes out and there's going to be indictments, nobody's going to know what they're going to go grab them. I don't think
there's indictments coming. The indictments that are coming, the big indictments that are coming, are seditious conspiracy. That's the down there in the Judge Cannon down there in Miami. There's a grand jury impaneled down there. Those are the ones that are bringing subpoenas against Brennan and Clapper and Comey down there. Here's the thing. That's that district right there, that particular judge. Don't play around. Don't play the games. I mean, that's the one that dismissed Jack Smith's case against Trump because it was BS. Basically, she said that in more legal terms, but that it took several pages, but that's what she said. So, and so there's a grand jury there. There's also two grand juries. There's one in Pennsylvania and there's one in Maryland that is looking into this mortgage fraud type stuff with several members of Congress. That's that one right there. When Donald Trump started mentioning Adam Schiff and mortgages, that's the why haven't they brought charges? It wasn't meant to bring charges. It was meant to tell all those congressmen, Democrats and Republican, that are doing the exact same thing. You better watch out.
And what did you call those charges again?
Seditious conspiracy.
Explain that.
Okay, so you got okay. They came after Comey, Clapper, Brennan, all those people, and one of the things that the talking heads on MSNBC is they can't bring charges against them. The 5 years has expired. Right. Under seditious conspiracy, the clock doesn't begin until the last act of any of the conspirators happens. Well, every time one of them goes on CNN or MSNBC to say there's no there, that's part of the seditious conspiracy. The clock starts over. Every time Barack Hussein Obama, who's named, goes up and says that nothing ever happened, that Donald Trump is an illegitimate president, seditious conspiracy clock starts over. That's seditious conspiracy or RICO or conspiracy against rights are the things they use against the mafia. And there is no end. As long as those people are continuing to tell the tale, it doesn't happen. And they can connect all of this election fraud to the seditious conspiracy.
This is awesome.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I'm glad I came on to watch your show.
I'm sorry.
Seriously, no. I mean, I like listening to this kind of stuff because you guys are out investigating all this stuff, and I do remember listening to Kash Patel. I don't remember who he was on with. No, well, maybe it was Bongino, where they said no, it wouldn't have been Bongino because Bongino would know. They asked him why haven't you arrested him for this, because it's past 7 years or whatever. I mean, the statute of limitations ran out. And you're like, you got to be kidding me. So it's okay to commit crimes, and as long as you have the powers that be that are on your side, they're never going to do it. And once they go through, now it's been too long. Well, how convenient. It's just shielded is all it is.
Well, it's just like James Comey said that, Hillary Clinton, when she destroyed the 30,000 emails, with the bleach bit and all that, when she did that, she committed a crime, but no reasonable prosecutor would prosecute.
According to James Comey, yes.
And then when Jack Lew was investigating Joe Biden and he left the unsecured classified documents in his garage behind his Corvette, he said, yes, a crime was committed, but he's too old and senile to ever a grand jury or a jury to ever prosecute. So we're not going to do anything because we have a two-tiered system of justice. We have you and me. If we did insider trading, we'd go to jail. If we did seditious conspiracy, we'd go to jail. If we were in the Navy and we took a selfie in a submarine with a blank wall behind us, nothing but a gray wall, we'd go to jail. But they can do it, and they're not going to jail. I mean, there's still people out there. Nobody's being arrested. John Bolton is charged with treason and espionage by a grand jury. He's going to go to jail.
That was like a year ago that happened?
No, it ain't been that long ago. It was like October, November.
That's it? So you're talking 6 months?
Yeah.
So when's that going to trial?
Well, like I asked my wife one day, my sister's in law enforcement. She works for a DA out in California.
Wait a minute. You sound like Ilhan Omar. Which is it?
I know, right?
Wife or sister?
My sister would laugh at that. Probably
or both.
But she's scary.
Scary.
She works out there, and I asked her when she was saying the same thing you said. Why aren't they doing anything? I said, I don't want to say her name. I almost said her name. I said, sis, if you found so some guy murders his wife in an act of passion in the hotel room, right, in your district, and you catch the guy with the gun, and he's standing there, and on the cop cam he's saying, I did it, I murdered my wife. I mean, you got him dead to rights. I said, how long would it take you to prosecute him and put him in prison? She said 2 to 5 years. I said, why are you expecting Trump to do it in 6 months?
Thank you. Right.
Well, because he does everything better and faster.
Right. Well, he does actually, but
nobody's ever done that in this kind of time. Nobody's ever seen this kind of speed before.
It's true in some cases.
He does say that a lot, but it's true, isn't it?
I think he's just trying to piss people off.
Thank you so much. I wanted to cover Iran, but we got that covered and a whole lot more. Any other military action on the horizon that you guys see? China doesn't have the money or the military to go after Taiwan like they've been threatening. I don't think that's going to happen.
Well, see, China's not going to go after Taiwan because they needed the oil from Venezuela, which they're not getting now.
And Iran.
Yeah, well, and Iran. See, that's another thing people don't understand. The masterful move some of this is because he's completely taking out China's ability to do anything because they can't have a prolonged war. They don't have the fuel.
Well, they got Canada now.
Yeah, but Canada ain't got enough fuel. They ain't got enough oil. And
they only do the crude. I don't even know if they have refineries up there. They might. I don't know.
And we tried to get that pipeline down here, and they
pipeline, that was part of it. Yeah, we'll ship you the oil and you guys refine it. And then Biden shut that down. Obama shut that down, didn't he?
I want to touch on one thing before we go, though, because I know you're trying to wrap up. I'm looking for the video, but I can't find it. Bobart snapped a picture of Hillary Clinton in her hearing, and everybody and gave it to Benny Johnson, and he posted it, and everybody went ape nuts last week. You remember that? They just went crazy over it. It's just media was all upset. Hillary Clinton's team was all upset. Everybody's all upset. They asked Bobart afterwards, a reporter, she must have been at her house or whatever. Let me say that again slower so that you hear. She must have been at her house in DC pushing a stroller with a baby in it. And they asked her, why did you send that picture? And she said, well, I don't know. I just installed bleach bit on my tablet. And it's what she said. And I didn't know how to wipe it off. So it just sort of happened. What
Just sort of happened. How funny is that?
The bleach bit thing. She totally. I heard that. I saw the post. I heard it. I listened like 3 times, and I didn't get it. And then it finally dawned on me. She said bleach bit, because that's what Hillary Clinton did to erase all of her emails. And then she said, "Was I supposed to wipe it with a cloth?" Remember that?
Oh yeah.
In the
Oh,
hearing.
because she's so funny.
That's what Bobart said, and I was like, "Oh my God!"
It just still amazes me that these people at this level could get away with that stuff, and there's no punishment for the crime.
I think we all think that these elected representatives are somehow smarter and better than the rest of us. I think we have completely overrated them. I think they are absolutely that stupid. I mean, hiding away these files in lower state New York or wherever you said it was, and with the FBI. And no, we're not going to give you that stuff, even though you're supposed to. We are the FBI office. We're supposed to turn this over to you, Kash Patel. We're not going to. And then they had to get to this level. I think that they are just that arrogant and just that stupid. They really believe that
Kash Patel's head of the FBI, right? The FBI has different offices, but he leads it all. He should be able to walk in and take whatever he wants.
Should.
Okay.
Right.
And if somebody says no, you're all fired.
They just fired 10 more FBI agents. They were the ones who were spying on Susie Wiles and Kash Patel under the Joe Biden administration. They got FISA warrants to spy on them. He just fired those like last week. Tulsi Gabbard, was it Tulsi Gabbard or Christy Noem?
No, Christy Noem.
Christy Noem's just fired some who were spying on her in her agency. So there's still an insurgency.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
CharLee, did you hear that?
Yeah.
Christy Noem had spyware on her phone. They were tracking her.
Yep.
So I guess you get a government issued phone, right? When you're going to the government. And so
unless you're Hillary Clinton.
Yes, unless you're Hillary Clinton. And they installed spyware on there so they knew exactly what she was doing, who she was talking to. So
internally, her employees.
So do you get rid? Does she know who did it?
Yeah, they fired a bunch of people over there too. And not only should they be firing them, they should be investigating them, which maybe they are, maybe they aren't.
Say firing's not enough.
Well, I don't know. Maybe you should hang them from their toes and hit them with cattle prods.
I mean, you would think that's a treasonous act, right? Why wouldn't they be able to walk in, take them out, and say you're under arrest? You have the right to remain silent. I mean,
that may come, or maybe. I mean, we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. That's part of the thing too. Like I said, they may be hitting them with cattle prods. I don't know, but they may be, leaning on them and saying, "Hey, who else is involved here?"
So here's what we do know. No matter what gets done, nobody gets arrested, Mike. Because are we safe to say that?
Nobody gets arrested yet.
So far.
That day is coming.
Okay.
That day is coming.
I do believe that because I have to believe that. But, when you say what is actually getting done, you find all these crimes. So if you and I would have installed some kind of tracking devices on their phones, would the feds have came here and taken us out in handcuffs?
Absolutely.
Oh, but it's okay if they do it to that person. Just not.
I think we need to have a conversation after next week.
Okay.
Do you think it's coming that soon?
I have no sources that tell me anything. I have no secret sources in the government. But yes.
Will there be a guillotine involved?
Not yet.
Guillotine.
We don't want guillotine. We don't want that.
Swift and painless. I want them to suffer.
We were talking about. I had a meeting today with some friends who shall be unnamed in an unnamed location, talking about unnamed things. But one of the things we pointed out was that George Washington would slow hang his traitors. Do you know what a slow hanging is?
Tell me more. What I think
Okay,
Trent
regular
Reznor from Nine Inch Nails did that to himself, didn't he?
a regular hanging is you put a noose around their neck, you set them on the trap door, and you drop the trap door, and
It breaks the neck.
breaks their neck, then they die. A slow hanging is you tie their hands, put the noose around their neck, they're standing there, you throw it over a tree, you tie it to a horse, and you slowly walk the horse away so that the noose picks them up off the ground and takes about 10 minutes to die because you sit there strangling. That's a slow hang.
Okay.
And George Washington used to do that to traitors.
How many traders do you think we got? Do we have enough horses and nooses?
Well, they're reusable.
That's right.
Do we have enough trees?
Right. Good point. And we didn't do it. The horse did. Okay. I like that better than the guillotine idea. Guillotines too quick and painless. So I want things to happen so badly. I really do. I'm all about justice. I'm big on that. It's been frustrating for me too, but it's been even more frustrating for my own fellow conservatives and Republicans who keep screaming about no arrests, and they're not going to get involved, and they're not even going to show up and vote in the midterm elections. They quit. They're discouraged. Nothing happened like what they said. That's been my biggest frustration right there. Going, sit down and shut up. Stop talking that way. That's why we're in the place we're in now, because you're too easy to walk away. Well, my vote doesn't count anyway. So, oh, God bless America. Stop talking that way. We need everybody to show up for the midterm elections, especially.
I don't know when you're going to air this show, but today is the 1st of March.
March 1st, yeah.
It's about 5:18 p.m. Central Standard Time. I was sent a message from one of the most prophetic people I know. This man has no fame, no glory, no nothing. Doesn't have a podcast. He's not even, he's a little tiny church somewhere on the East Coast in a little tiny town that no one's ever heard of. But he has been right every time he sends me a message. One of the first ones was a couple years ago. Donald Trump was running for president, and he sent me a message on right about my wife's birthday, which is January 6th, and said the Supreme Court's going to rule 9-0 in favor of Trump. I said, on what? He says, I don't know. It's not what God told me, just that. In February, they ruled in favor of Donald Trump 9-0, that they can't take him off the ballots in all these states. Remember that?
Oh,
that was the first time there's been a 9-0 decision for the Supreme Court, like in a long time. I don't know how long it was now, but it's like 100 years or something. And now there's been several of them, by the way. He said to me Friday, he messaged me, God told me next week will be spicy.
Spicy. Is that cold?
There's different levels of spicy. Is it jalapeno or is it habanero?
Wait, so then Saturday morning,
is it mild Thai food
the news.
Spicy?
I don't know. Listen, so and I see everything that's going on. We're bombing the head of Iran, and I messaged him. I said, "This kind of spicy?" He said, "No, worse." So we'll see what happens next week. And
so you're talking about tomorrow is next week?
Well, next week started today from Friday.
Okay.
There was a terrorist attack today, right?
Yeah.
In Texas.
Yeah. In Texas, yeah.
3
they
killed,
didn't say on the news
wounded.
whether it was yet another tranny, but I'd imagine it probably was.
No. The FBI's come out and said it was a terrorist attack, that he was either ISIS or ISIS inspired, and that he was wearing a shirt that said servant of Allah, and he screamed Agbu snack bar, and he started shooting the place up.
Aloha snack bar.
From
the weird thing is how he did it.
He was from Trinidad.
Witnesses saw him driving back and forth, drive slowly, and he opened fire on people sitting in an outdoor patio area of a restaurant or diner.
A beer garden barbecue place.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I just add that kind of.
Then all of a sudden he stopped, rolled down the window, and just started firing on the crowd. That just happened.
That was today, yeah, or
Yeah.
today or last night, maybe.
Do they know who it was?
Oh yeah, they got him. I think he's dead.
Yeah, it was a firefight.
Was he an illegal alien?
He was legally here on papers from Joe Biden. So yes.
Somalian. Would be my guess. So
No, he was from Trinidad.
Oh, Trinidad. Oh, really? That's such a peaceful island. They're always stoned all the time. Come on, relax, buddies. So it's a religious war. It is absolutely. This is their jihad. It's not going to stop. And we keep looking the other way and go, well, they have the right to worship how they want. Does that include killing you? Does that include mercy killings? Does that include chopping off your head? Sawing off your head is what they do, actually, if you don't accept, if you don't renounce your Lord and Savior, Christ Jesus. We're so stupid. We're just so stupid. We've become so completely blind and inept at making any kind of logical thinking, critical thinking. I'm sorry for running down my own fellow Americans, but damn. We better be waking up, buddy. So I hope you're right, Mike. I hope that the stuff that's coming out is going to really have a tremendously huge effect. But Sam, you know the media like I do. We've done it all our lives. You know what's going on. How are they going to play all this, do you think?
Well, they're going to try and talking mainstream. They're going to try and spin it to make Trump look bad, but nobody's going to buy it. That's the whole thing. So it's irrelevant. They've made themselves obsolete.
I think people will buy it, though. The people who are still watching them absolutely will.
Okay, but it just is diminishing and diminishing and diminishing. It's
no one's watching them.
It's way less than you think, Charlie. Way less than you think. I'm telling you. He said 80-20. I can tell you. All you got to do is look at the county map for when Trump won. It was 87-13, and that was with cheating. Charlie?
Good point.
With cheating, Mike, with cheating.
Yep,
meaning it was probably more like 92 or 93-7.
Yep.
Okay.
And that goes back to your deal, what you guys are discussing. Back when the Clintons were, you had ABC, NBC, CBS, and CNN. That was
and
it.
Fox. Yeah, that was it.
Well, the Fox didn't start till the middle of the Clintons, didn't they? CNN started what, 87,
no,
88?
Fox was in the 80s, came along in the 80s.
Maybe so. I don't remember. But that's Fox News affiliates, yes. But I mean Fox News.
Yeah, I'm talking about the Fox Network.
96.
Oh, you're talking about Fox News. Oh, good point. No,
96.
You're right. They didn't come along till later to compete
96.
with CNN.
Yeah. So that far as news, you had ABC, NBC, CBS, and CNN. That was the news. So
PBS.
the Clintons could say, what was it? What's the definition of is, as you said earlier? And the news would go, yeah, that's right. There is multiple definitions of is. And so, but now, like he's pointing out, most people aren't buying that crap no more.
But yet they gave Bill Clinton a second term. So
yeah, but that was then. That was way back then. It's a different story now. The only
gave
opposition
Obama a second term. We would have given Biden a second term.
Even then, well, Biden never really had a first term. The difference then, the only opposition voice anywhere that had a national voice was Rush Limbaugh. That's it. There was nobody else.
You're right.
That is a massive difference. Okay, so now all of a sudden, remember, they're cheating on elections. Okay, the only way they're winning these elections is they're cheating.
They're cheating.
So they already a friend of mine told me once elections what did he say? They're not elected, they're selected. And then whatever it takes to get them there, and they have the media propped up behind them to push them, and people believe it. Case in point, Donald Trump in 2016. Well, the media that was telling you the polls, Hillary Clinton was beating him. He didn't have a chance. I bought it. I said, he don't have a chance because I believed it. He slaughtered her. So the point is that they had a big hold on people. Today, when they tell you that stuff, you're like, bullshit. Let me look it up. Okay.
And that's why
I don't buy it anymore.
That's why these 80% polls for Trump on the SAVE Act, 80%, I think it was like 79 on the war over there in Iran. I think it was his His State of the Union was like 89%. It was a ridiculous number they reported on CNN. That's why those polls scare the pants off these people, because ain't nobody had polls. We've been a polarized nation because of the media for my entire life.
Mm-hmm.
But the media has lost control because people like yournews.com.
And you guys. Remember, I'm just the aggregator. You guys are the actual guys reporting, but technology today allows for anybody to be a news reporter. I mean, hell, the biggest story so far going on is, was what Nick Shirley uncovered. And I don't recall ever hearing he went to Columbia School of Journalism. Did any of you guys hear that?
He went to the cell phone journalism school.
That's right.
He did.
Just went around.
And he's in California. He's still in California.
You think about
right
that.
Now.
The budgets that CNN and MSNBC and all of them have for news reporting, and you got a guy out news reporting them with no budget at all and a cell phone. I mean, just think about that. Here's some headlines. Last 15 minutes. Headline: Strong explosion heard in British Royal Air Force Base, Cyprus, after security alert. This is just the headlines. Moroccan Transportation Ministry says Panama flagged cargo vessel has sunk off the coast of Western Sierra.
Panama what?
Panama what? Flagged cargo vessel carrying clinker, which is an ingredient in cement production, that was sunk off the west. No details, just the headlines. This is just last 15 minutes. Escalation in the north. Hezbollah joins campaign brings towards Haifa and surrounding areas. So Hezbollah's entered into the fight in this war. That's just the headlines in the last 15 minutes.
One thing we can count on, heads on a swivel, my friends, because this is going to be an extreme uptick in radical Islamic nutbags going in and creating their own little jihad anywhere and everywhere they can. This whole attack on Iran is going to spark that kind of reaction all over the world.
60 seconds ago, just popped up on the screen. This is in northern Israel. This rocket is being launched by Hezbollah.
The Iron Dome's supposed to stop it.
Well, we'll probably have video of that in a minute or so. But that's what I'm saying. Things are going to get spicy. Now, what does spicy mean? I don't know. But there you go. That's a headline. Last 15 minutes.
Wow. Spicy. Okay. Well, that's very broad. And by the way, the gentleman from Austin, Texas, was from Senegal.
Senegal. Did I say Trinidad? Yeah.
Well, you said, it's from Senegal because I'm looking, it's in my U.S. section. Austin nightclub gunman wore a shirt referencing property of Allah. Reports say shooter identified as naturalized U.S. citizen, originally from Senegal, who was killed in exchange of gunfire with police. Yeah. So.
Now, was he controlled or just inspired? That's the question. I think he was probably just inspired. I'm way more afraid of 2, 3, 4-man squads that are sleeper cells, Iranian sleeper cells.
Well, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. So the only thing you do is
Joe Biden across the southern and northern borders in droves by the thousands, tens of thousands.
Wouldn't that make him an accomplice?
Absolutely, he's complicit. There's blood on that.
I mean, if
not Joe, but the rest of his administration that were running things. Joe didn't even know what pudding he ate that day.
Oh my God. I want some pudding.
Lord help us.
I'm just saying that will be Joe's. You remember Donald Trump kept saying to Joe, you better get the 25th Amendment. You're going to need the 25th Amendment. You remember he kept saying that? You know why? Because Donald Trump was giving Joe Biden a way out. Because he's too old, too senile, too dementia. He doesn't know what's going on. Doesn't know what pudding he ate this morning. Doesn't even know that it is morning. But the people around him that were running, all the people that were using the auto signer or whatever they call it.
Auto pin.
Yeah, they're in trouble.
I believe it was Jill. I think Jill was running the whole dang show. Jill and, of course, Obama. And how many of his staffers, Obama staffers, did Biden bring back and put in positions of tremendous power? Before we go, I'm going to pop up a little QR code, and it's going to pop up right over Sam's head. That's a QR code for nuevalife.com/CharLee Simons. The promo code, my name, CharLeeSimons, will get you a nice little 10% discount on products. This is something that Mike and I have been encouraging you to follow through on, exploring the products that they have, and also consider, if you want, to actually join us and being part of our team and letting others know about these great products, American-made products. Sam, you need them. You need them desperately. You're looking a little haggard. So it's all about energy. It's all about, we got collagen. We got weight loss. There's a weight loss thing that's worked beautifully for Mike. You call it, what is a chocolate sauce that makes your pants fall?
The chocolate sauce makes your, let me just tell you. So when I started, I was 315 pounds. I'm 6'4", so it's not that bad, really. I'm 280 now. And all I do is take the chocolate sauce, spoonful a day, chases that belly fat away. The only side effect that I've found from this is I got to buy new jeans because mine don't fit no more. So this is made with collagen. It's made with the trimella mushroom, which is the hyaluronic acid. But the best part about it is the Moracell blood orange extract, which is a name brand, comes out of Italy. It's very purified. It's clinically proven that over 90% of people that take that product lose weight. And it has absolutely worked for me because, like I said, I'm down on the pounds.
And you don't have to, you have to give yourself a shot, and you're not going to have Ozempic face.
No. Perfectly healthy. You don't have to worry about none of that. Nope. I don't do that. I don't do shots. I don't do doctors. There's sick people there. But no, this stuff has absolutely worked for me. I take their collagen product and a couple other products, and you can check it out. Hit the link. And if you have any questions, just email patriotmikeshow@gmail.com and say that you saw it on Charlie's show, and I'll answer all the questions that you have.
PatriotMikeShow@gmail.com, and start watching his he does a daily podcast, Sam. He's on every stinking day, and his shows are like 2 and 3 hours, starting at 8:30 Central Time, Monday through Friday.
To talk about lately, I don't know.
Yeah, right.
So, Mike, just FYI, we're now over 5,700 content creators.
That's awesome.
Well, I don't know what I was when was the last on your show? Like 4 or 5 months, 6 months ago, something like that.
Something like that, but I don't remember what your numbers were. But that's a lot of content creators. So
we're bringing in now over 2,000 articles a week.
So on my computer, I'd be honest with you, I have up CNBC Business because I keep the silver and gold and all that on there. Okay. I have up the Drudge Report because I want to go over there and see what the nut jobs on the left are talking about, because the Drudge Report is totally left now. And I have your page just to catch headlines.
I do too. And I'm encouraging others as well, Sam. I love what you've built. It's fantastic. Yeah, yournews.com. Absolutely.
That's what I keep up while I'm doing my show, just to see what pops up. Those are the 3 things that I have.
Yeah, you've built a great platform. Go there for your information. And what's really great about it is, I'll do your commercial for you, Sam.
Thanks.
You can make it hyper local. If you just want to know what your high school football game scores were, you'll find somebody there most likely reporting on that. You just put in your zip code. You can make it that narrow focused, or you can go all over the world. And you'll find Mike there. You'll find me there, and a lot of different content creators. But forget about we podcasters. Look to the reporters, the journalists who Mike's given them a platform, and he monetizes, by the way, content creators. He monetizes. He shares with you advertising dollars. Thank you for that, Sam. That's very cool. You didn't have to, because a lot of us are just, we'll do it for free. This is our job. This is what we love. And a lot of them have lost their jobs. Well, they're now working with Sam. They're now getting they're still writing, and now they have a new platform. Instead of a local newspaper, it's on Sam's platform at yournews.com. And you can invest there too, Sam, if you want to actually help him grow the way Sam wants to.
Yeah, we're getting there. We've got about 5,700 content creators. I'd like to get that to around 30,000. And no, seriously, it because the bigger you get, our visitors last month were little more than 1.2 million, right? And we're literally 50 times smaller than Rumble. Exactly, because Rumble has 250,000 what they call channels, right? So that'd be guys like you. So we have, we're closer to 6, but for 5,000 times 50, they're 50 times bigger. But you could look their traffic up. They had 42 million visitors last month, so let's say 50 million. So, they're literally 50 times bigger than us.
Yeah.
So it kind of matches.
Another reason why Sam is cooler than we are, Mike, he's playing in a golf tournament starting tomorrow at President Trump's course in Florida.
Yes. And the question is he going to show up? Because he's here.
Now he just left.
That's next level cool.
Oh, yeah. Just as I had the Newsmax on, just as you guys were getting ready to go, and they were showing the Air Force One wheels up, saying the president's leaving Mar-a-Lago, going back to DC. So
yeah, so this is his West Palm course, and they're having an event out there, and I've been there twice.
He can't fly back down there. I mean,
I'll give him a call, see if he wants to show up.
Yeah, right.
Send him a text.
I did write a letter.
Gentlemen, I really enjoyed this. Thank you very much for being on with me again. And if you have any questions, you always know you can reach me at CharLeeSimons.com, CharLeeSimons, CharLeeSimons.com. Buy some merchandise, by the way. Either one of you guys bought this awesome mug? Let's talk about politics and religion.
I have not.
It's a big old 15-ounce mug. You need one right now. You get this hat or get this hat. There's all kinds of stuff. I got shirts, hats, caps, mugs.
Trump was right about
was
everything.
right.
Well, it turns out that he was pretty much. I know the left hates that, but yeah.
You need it. You need one of your own. CharLeeSimons.com. Thank you, gentlemen. I'll talk to you soon.
All right.
What
Bye-bye.
now? Go ahead,
I was
Mike.
going to say, I don't hardly ever wear a hat because I got a good head of hair.
You do. You really do. Yeah.
It's slickery. All right. See you, man. All right. Thank you very much for joining me. I really appreciate you more than you know. I really do appreciate you more than you know. And you share these shows, and then it just grows like crazy. And it'll be on yournews.com. You'll find it there. You want to share this with anyone else to get the information out, what's going on with Iran and insider stuff like what we just covered, what's coming. Mike Cook is great about that. He's on that. And looking forward to talking to you again real soon. May God bless you and keep you. May God bless America. But most importantly, America, bless God.